Antiderivatives is a function that can be differentiated to return the original function. In other words, it is the reverse process of differentiation. Furthermore, we're going to talk about different functions and how to get their antiderivatives. What is the difference between derivatives and antiderivatives? Derivatives are used to measure the rate of a slope of a function, while antiderivatives is the reverse process. So next, before going to antiderivatives, let's first get a derivative of fx equals to x squared. So fx equals to x squared. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to multiply the whole number and the exponent. So 2 times 2 equals 4. Then we're going to minus 1, the x squared, and it will be 4x. And this is the final answer. So next, let's move to the power rule for integration. So if we wish to find the derivative of x cubed, since it's power rule, the n will be the exponent of x cubed. So it will be 3x over 3. Since it's power rule, we're going to minus 1 and 3. So 3 minus 1 will be 3x cubed. And that will be the answer. So next example, if we wish to find the antiderivative of the integral of x5, it would be x5 plus 1 divided by 5 plus 1 plus c. And next, we're going to add the exponent, and it would be x5 plus 1, it would be x6, and 5 plus 1 would be 6. And let's not forget the c, which is the constant of integration, and this would be the answer. So if we wish to find the antiderivative integral of x cubed, it would be x cubed. So since it's powerful antiderivative, instead of subtracting 1, we're going to add 1. So it will be x cubed plus 1, and then we're going to make this also our denominator, would be x cubed 3 plus 1 divided by 3 plus 1 plus c. So that would be x cubed plus 1, it will be x4, and 3 plus 1 will be 4, and let's not forget the constant of integration, which is the c, and it would be the final answer. So next, let's move to fractions. So if we wish to find the antiderivative of x over 8, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put this outside. Then it's going to be 1 over 8. Then x 1 plus 1. Then 1 plus 1 plus c. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add them, and it will be x 1 plus 1 will be x squared. 1 plus 1 will be 2. Let's see. Then we're going to multiply them. 1 over 8 times x squared over 2. So 8 times 2 would be 16. So the answer would be 1 over 16 x squared plus c. So next is full number. So if we want to find the antiderivative integral of 9x squared, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the 9 outside. Then it will be 9 integral of x squared plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1 plus c equals, then x squared plus 1 will be x cubed. 2 plus 1 will be 3 plus c. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to divide them. So 9x cubed over 3 plus c. So 9 divided by 3 would be 3x cubed plus c. And this is the final answer. So next is move to constant. So if we wish to find the integral of 6, then the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to move the 6 here to be 6. Then we're just going to move these beside the 6, and it will be 6x. And let's not forget the constant of integration, which is c, and this would be the final answer. Another example for constant. So if we wish to find the antiderivative of integral of 8, then the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to put the 8 over here, and then we're going to get this, which is the y. Then let's not forget the c, which is the constant of integration. Then that would be the final answer. So next is binomial. So if we want to find the antiderivative integral of 6 squared plus 6, then it will be 6 squared plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. Then we're just going to add x to the 6, then it will be 6x plus c. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add them, and it will be 6 squared plus 1 would be 6 cubed. Then 2 plus 1 would be 3 plus 6x plus c. Then I'm just going to divide 6 over 3, then it would be 2x cubed plus 6x plus c. This is trinomial. So if you want to find the antiderivative integral of 9x squared plus 8x minus 4, then we're just going to add 1. So it's going to be 9x squared plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1 plus 8x, 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. Then we're just going to add x to negative 4, and it will be negative 4x plus c. And the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add them. So it will be 9x squared, 2 plus 1 will be 3, plus 8x, 1 plus 1 will be 8 squared, then 1 plus 1 will be 2, minus negative x plus c, then we're just going to divide this 2, then it will be 3x squared plus 4x squared negative 4x plus c.
Now we're going to move to radical function. How are we going to take the antiderivative of this example? Cube root of x squared dx. First, we're going to take number 3 and turn it into our denominator. X raised to 2 over 3 dx. Then we can now perform the power rule. X raised to 2 over 3 plus 1, 2 over 3 plus 1 plus c. Now, 2 over 3 plus 1 is the same as 2 over 3 plus 3 over 3. So our answer will be 5 over 3. X squared raised to 5 over 3 over 5 over 3 plus c. Our next step, we're going to multiply 5 over 3 by its reciprocal, which is 3 over 5. Then, 5 divided by 5 is 1, so cancel. So 2. Since there is 1 here, 1 times 3, so this one will be our answer. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. Then copy the x raised to 5 over 3. And our constant plus c. That will be our final answer. But if you want to bring it back to its original state, which is in radical form, copy 3 over 5, then the denominator 3, the radical sign, and copy x raised to 5 plus c. Let's have our second example. Let's say we have fifth root of x is p of x. So first step, take 5 and turn it into denominator. X raised to 3 over 5 Again, 3 over 5 plus 1 is the same as 3 over 5 plus 5 over 5. So our answer would be 8 over 5. X raised to 8 over 5 over x over 5 plus c. Now, multiply this and this one to its reciprocal. 5 over 8. 5 over 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1, cancel. And then our answer will be, since again there's 1 here, 1 times 5, 5, 1 times 8, 8, then copy x raised to 8 over 5, then the constant. If you want to change it back to radical form, copy 5 over 8, 5, the radical sign, x raised to 8, c. Let's have our last example, 6 root of x raised to 9 dx. Take 6, turn it into your denominator, x raised to 9 over 6 dx. Then perform the power rule. X raised to 9 over 6 plus 1 over 9 over 6 plus 1. Then the constant plus c. 9 over 6 is the same as 9 over 6 plus 9. 9 over 6 is the same as 9 over 6 plus 6 over 6. So x is 15 over 6, then 15 over 6. Then multiply it by its reciprocal. 6 over 15, 6 over 15. And this will be answer. So our answer will be 1 times 6, 1 times 15 is 15. Then copy x raised to 15, x raised to 15 over 6 over c. In radical form, 6 over 15. Then cube root of 6 over x raised to 15 c. But we can simplify it by multiplying this with 3. So 6 divided by 3. I mean, by dividing this by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Then cube 6 root of x raised to 15 plus c. And that's it for radical function.
Will be about exponential function. So if the derivative of the exponential function it will be equal to e to the u times u prime. So the integral of e to the u will be equal to, if the function is a linear function which is u is equal to ax plus b, the formula that we will be using will be e to the u over u prime plus c. So for our example number 1, if the integral of e to the x, so this will be equal to e to the x, and the derivative of the x which is equal to 1, we will put this as the denominator plus c. So that will be the answer. For our number 2, if the integral of e to the negative 5x, this will be equal to, so let's try to use this formula which is e to the u over u prime plus c. So let's write it here, e to the u is equal to u prime, e to the u over u prime plus c.
So our u variable will be equals to negative 5x. And our u prime will be equals to negative 5. So let's put it here. So it will be equals to e to the negative 5x over negative 5 plus c. So let's move on to example number 3. So if it's an integral of e to the 4x minus 6, so this will be equal to e to the 4x minus e over the derivative of e to the 4x minus c is equal to 4. Yes. So this is how you find the derivative of an exponential function if it's in linear function. For our example number 2, what if the example will be integral of 8x e x4. So what will be the answer? So the first step will be, we're going to put the integral of 8x e to the u times, like what I said, we're going to replace this dx with du over. So since this is x4, it will gonna be 4x. So that will be equal to, we're gonna divide the 8 divided by 4x. So 8 divided by 4x will be equal to 2 integral of e to the u equals 2 e to the u plus c. So just like what I've said in the previous, we're going to replace this u with, our u will be x4. So we're going to replace the u with the x4. So the answer will be 2 e to the x4 plus c. So that will be the answer using the u substitutions. Example number 3 will be the same as the example number 2. So our example number 3 will be the integral of 18x e to the x6 equals to, again the first step, we're going to put this integral of 18x e to the u, and we're going to replace this dx with du. So since this is x6, we're going to put 6x here equals, so we're going to divide it, 18x divided by 6x. So 18x divided by 6x is equal to 3 integral of e to the u. This will be equal to 3 e to the u plus c. Our u here will be x6. So like what I said, I'm going to replace this u with the x6. So our answer will be 3 to the e x6 plus c. So this will be our answer. So for now, I'm going to teach you the other method, which is called the u substitution. So for our example number 1, the integral of e to the 12x, so we all know that will be equal to e to the 12x over 12 plus c. So in order for us to use the u substitution, we're going to do this. So our u will be equals to 12x, and our differential of u will be equals to 12 dx. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to divide both by 12. So what will happen? So this 12 will be cancelled, and the only remaining will be differential of u over 12 over 1 dx. Now what's going to happen is that the integral of e to the u times, we're going to replace this dx with the du over 12. So it will be du over 12 is equal to. Next step, we're going to put this 12 as a front. So it will be 1 over 12 integral of e to the
1 over 12 e to the u plus c. So we're going to replace this 2 with this 12x. So the answer will be 1 over 12 e to the 12x plus c. And now this will be our answer for the u substitution.
So let's tackle the indefinite and indefinite integral. Let's start to indefinite integral. Indefinite integral is also known as anti-derivatives. It is a function whose derivatives is the original function. It is represented by integral symbols without limits of integration. The constant of integration. And this is the final answer. Copy the exponents of the numeration. And then we will just add x here. Let's tackle definite integral. Definite integral represents a number where the lower limits and upper limits are constant. Definite integral is actually different from indefinite integral in a sense that definite integral has its what we call limits. So in order for us to evaluate definite integral, we need this formula. So what does it mean? So whatever the value of a and b here, we will just substitute x. And then the first thing we will use to substitute is the value of f of b, and then we will subtract it to the value of f of a. In order for us to read this, it is read as the integral of f of x dx evaluated from a to b, wherein the f of x represent the integral, while the f of b is represent the upper limits, while the f of a represent the lower limits. Let's have the first example. So as you can see, we have the integral of x cubed dx evaluated from 2 to 4. And then the first thing we will do is get the antiderivative, which is the x cubed. And then we will just apply the power rule of integration. So we will just add plus 1 here in the exponent. So it will become x raised to 3 plus 1, and then we will just copy the exponent into the denominator. And then we will just add the evaluated numbers. So it will become x raised to 4 over 4 evaluated from 2 to 4. So here we just, after this, we will substitute the x to the evaluated number. So we have 4 raised to 4 over 4, then minus 2 raised to 4 over 4. So here, we can cancel the 4 since we have like terms, and then we can just write 4 raised to 3. And then minus, so what is 2 raised to 4? It is 16, and then divided by 4. So it will become 16 divided by 4, it will become 4. So 64 minus 4 is 60. So the final answer is 60. So let's have the second example. So we have the integral of 3x squared dx evaluated from 1 to 3. So the first thing we will do is we will get the antiderivatives of this integration. So we have 3x squared. And then we will just apply the power rule of integration. So we will just add plus 1 into the exponent, and then we will just copy the exponent of the numerator. So the second we will do is we will just add the exponents and the denominator here. So it will become 3x cubed over 3.
next is we have 3x cubed over 3. We will just substitute the x into the evaluated numbers, which is 1 and 3. So, the first thing we will use is the upper limit, which is 3. So, 3 times 3 raised to 3 over 3. So, as you can see, we have like terms here. So, we just cancel here, and then we just cancel here. And then 3 raised to 3 is equal to, so as you can see, we cancel 3 here since they are like terms. So, it will become 3 raised to 3. So, 3 raised to 3 is equal to 27. And this is the final answer.